Hi, this is Editor's Take. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Gaurav Chaudhary. He's the Deputy Executive Editor of Money Control and we are here to discuss about the core sector output for the month of September, which has contracted by over 5%. Thanks a lot, Gaurav, for joining in. Now, what does this really indicate? Does it mean that the slowdown is getting aggravated in the core industries?
Well, it's a mix of both. Actually, it's a mix of a couple of reasons. I don't think the government would like to believe that this is a one-off thing. And why they would like to believe that it's a one-off thing is, I think the cause for this sharp contraction in core sector growth in this particular month in September is also largely attributable to the very prolonged monsoon this year. And as we know that monsoon took a long time to retreat. In a normal year, the monsoon rain starts retreating in the month of in the first week of September, but this time it went on in some areas until the second week of October. Just to present a disaggregated data on coal's core sector. Coal production, for instance, contracted sharply by 21% in September, on the top of 8.6% the previous month and 6.4% in the same month last year. So and again, this is also largely because of an extended monsoon.
True.
Cement production again contracted for the second consecutive month by 2.1% over 5.1% contraction in the previous month and an 11.8% growth in the same month last year. There were two factors at play so far as cement is concerned. One, there was an unfavorable base effect because the growth in cement production in the same month, in the comparable period, month last year, was high. It was 11.8%. And also an extended monsoon meant construction activity could not have started in the last week of September or in the middle of September, and in a normal year it would have started. Steel production again fell to a 4-year low of minus 0.3% over a 5% growth in the previous month. And I think steel production has also got to do, the drop in steel production has also got to do with the deceleration that we are witnessing in the auto industry.
Right.
And that would have, that would have showed up in steel production.
Essentially, demand,
essentially it is the end user, with the consumer is buying, like automobiles,
Yeah.
or also construction activity and like real estate activity, that has slowed down considerably. That has brought down production of steel.
Yeah.
Electricity again, continued to witness contraction in this month. It declined 3.7% against 0.9% in the previous month. So what does it tell you? It is also again because of less commercial demand. And why was there less commercial demand in the month of September? It's very obvious. We had seen in the month of September how many automobile companies actually shut down their factories for a couple of days.
Yes.
So when you shut down, when automobile companies shut down factories, clearly there's going to be less commercial demand. And when there's less commercial demand of electricity production will come down. Refinery products also have witnessed a similar thing. But the good thing here to note is that there is a growth in fertilizer products. And it rose actually to an 8-month high of 5.4%, higher than 2.9% in August and 2.5% the comparable month last year.
Right.
And again, this is a reason of extended monsoons, and there probably was a reason for that this could have also been driven by restocking ahead of the Rabi crop.
Right, but do you think, Gaurav, this will also have a bearing on the IIP numbers for the month of November?
Oh, it will, definitely it will, because the core sector, all these sectors actually account for 40% of IIP, and the IIP data is about 11-12 days away, about 11 days away, and clearly it's going to have a strong bearing, a big impact on the way the headline index of industrial production numbers show up for the month of September, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's extremely weak.
Absolutely. Do you also think that this strengthens the case for the RBI to continue giving the monetary stimulus and continue going for a rate cut even in the December policy?
So the RBI has already said that in the inflation versus growth contest where it stands at this point in time, it believes that the growth needs a lot of handholding and push, and the RBI is willing to go the distance. But the question, bigger question here is, to what extent can the RBI keep on cutting interest? It has considerably cut interest over the last 5 policies, as we have seen, and probably it will go ahead and announce a similar cut in the month of December when the next policy is out. But if it is not having the desired effect, have we seen then interest rate or monetary policy as an instrument to lift growth? may come into question.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to ask, in the last couple of months, we've also seen several steps being taken by the government, including the reduction in the corporate tax rate. Do you think all those steps, including with the RBI's rate cut, will actually kind of reverse the situation in the periods to come, or will the trend continue to worsen?
So there is a little bit of hope, and as scattered data does say that there is some degree of or some revival activity that probably can be seen, but that needs to be seen over a longer period of time, and the pattern needs to be fully established and well embedded. There is some pickup in credit activity,
All right.
which seems to be a good sign, and if that holds, then probably from the third quarter onwards, that is from October to December, the data for which will come out January onwards, or probably sometime in February, we'll get a fuller picture of what the kind of economic activity that has taken place in the October-December quarter. I would expect some kind of, going by the very initial preliminary credit offtake data, I would expect some kind of revival. Not a very, I don't think
And
the
by
revival.
when will it happen? Do you
So
say?
it probably, we would see some revival activity in the current quarter, that is
Okay.
October to December,
Okay.
and it will start showing up sometime in February next year. But I do not expect the revival to be decidedly V-shaped. It's going to be a very long crawl upwards.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, then, Gaurav, for sharing all that insight. Well, the sharp contraction in the core sector output of minus 5.2% this time in September does indicate the severity of slowdown in the core industries and the weakening commercial demand. But for sure, the experts believe that the steps taken by the government and the continuous easing of the monetary stimulus by the RBI also could have an impact in reversing the kind of trend that we are seeing. And we should be able to see the reversal, at least the starting of the reversal, in the couple of quarters from here on. Thanks a lot for watching this edition of Editor's Take, and do stay logged on to moneycontrol.com for more news and updates. Thanks for watching.